The party's in Prague on this episode of Living Abroad. A city where modern living meets old world charm
This was specifically designed for expat families.
and local attitudes.
They often have a very black humor on things.
You may think we are a bit rude.
Americans learn the Prague of the past
And I was like, Eastern Europe, cold, dark, no.
is a city embracing the future.
The country, it's changing. You feel the freedom.
Expats in Prague.
Nice to see you.
Next.
LTD, that's living the dream.
What's it like to live abroad?
You know, you can't sugarcoat it. It's tough.
It's not the States, and you got to get over that real quick.
Americans are on the move around the world.
I'm just glad that we did this. Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
This is Living Abroad, Prague. From its ancient architecture to its bustling urban landscape, Prague is definitely a place with personality. Some might say a split personality. The Prague of the communist past and the Prague of the democratic future.
We are on Vltava River. I thought it's a great opportunity to show you the city from a different perspective.
It is really a different perspective. Everything is so beautiful from the water.
There you see the Prague Castle.
For 1,000 years, the castle was the home of the royal family. It now houses the Czech government.
Behind us is one of the most beautiful bridges in the world.
Right, it's absolutely amazing.
That's the famous Charles Bridge. You've probably seen it in the movies. Ever seen Mission Impossible? 1.3 million people live in Prague. 250,000 are foreigners. And many expats who come end up on the historic side of town.
We are in the city center in Prague, on Old Town Square.
This place is so stunning. I don't know where to start. I mean, you have the astronomical clock here, the National Gallery, these churches. Everything is so beautiful.
Believe it or not, there are apartments. People actually make their homes here.
The average two-bedroom apartment in Prague rents for about $1,000 a month, and it's about $300,000 to $400,000 to buy. But if you're hoping to be closer to the action, here in Old Town, it's quite a bit pricier.
Prices range between $500,000 to $1 million US.
And this is where the Zielke family lives. They recently relocated from Atlanta. Elizabeth's from the South, but she actually met her husband Dan way up north in Detroit.
Like a good Baptist Southern girl, I went to church, and he was there. That's how we met.
It wasn't anything like that.
They got their stories straight, got married, and moved into a 6,000 square foot house in suburban Atlanta, Georgia. But Dan's accounting firm had other plans for him.
Last year, one of the partners in the firm basically sent me an email and said, "Would you like to work in Prague?"
And I was like, Eastern Europe, cold, dark, no, you know.
After visiting first, she warmed up to the idea of a couple years in Prague.
I thought, well, it could be really cool. It would be a simpler life, less hectic. So I think, yeah, we were anticipating that, looking forward to that change.
So they packed up their two kids, Gabrielle and Wesley, and their dog, Sergeant Pepper. They flew 10 hours from Atlanta to the Czech Republic. Now, they can't be any further from the suburbs. Their new home is right in historic Old Town.
It's fabulous, you know, to be right here in the center of Prague where everything is happening, and this is our house now. This is our home. This building was built in, I mean, it's not an address, it's 1616, you know?
The date the door was built, the date the building was built.
Exactly.
So
Incredible.
It's incredible.
Well, I can't wait to see the history. Let's go
Sure,
inside.
let's do that.
This door is incredible. Look how huge it is.
Spread over 3 floors, this 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment rents for $2,300 a month.
Coming from the facade of that building, I did not expect a kitchen like this. There's a whole lot of storage.
Yeah, this was, I think, specifically designed for expat families because it has a lot more storage than you would normally find here.
But food storage is a whole different story. Check out what passes for a fridge in Prague.
In Europe, the refrigerators are much smaller than they are in the United States. I just cleaned mine out for the show, so that's why it's so empty.
It's microscopic almost by comparison to our U.S., going to the grocery store once a week, loading it up with, half a dozen bags of groceries. Here it's like a daily thing. It becomes a part of your life, really.
Yes. But you know what? If I have to haul groceries up 3 flights of stairs with no elevator, I'm happy to bring smaller quantities. So this is good for me.
But at least you're getting your exercise now.
Absolutely. I don't go to the gym. There's no gym. The cobblestones and the stairs are my gym.
Just call it the Relocation Weight Loss Program.
You're eating the same amount of quantities of food, maybe even richer type of foods, but because of all the additional walking that you do, it helps keep your weight in check. So it's a good thing.
Weight in check. Good one.
As a serious road biker, Dan's exercise comes on the old world streets of Prague, too, with one minor adjustment.
I enjoyed biking. So coming here, there's so many of these cobblestone streets, so a road bike was out of the question. And so getting a mountain bike on cobblestone streets was a great way to go.
And the Zielkes kids have figured out how to get a little exercise, too.
Show them how you have fun in Prague.
It's our son Wesley and Gabrielle.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh! You guys get a good workout. I mean, no backyard, but now you have this crazy jungle gym built into your living room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
just don't tell the homeowner about this.
Up next, this new life isn't for everyone in the family. Guess who's not happy about the move?
You make do with what you got.
Prague is the capital and largest city of the Czech Republic. After 4 dark decades of communism, the Czech people turned to democracy 20 years ago.
These days, the country, it's changing and it's improving.
Now, more international companies are moving in. Several U.S. computer tech and finance companies operate here, and they're bringing American families with them.
I've always had a desire to work abroad. So I came out, interviewed, and the rest is really kind of history.
The Zielke family moved here for Dan's job with an accounting firm, leaving behind Atlanta for a small apartment in Old Town Prague.
We will live a really big life in a much smaller place.
When we first looked at this apartment, Elizabeth said to me, I'm not sure you're going to like it. But when I walked in and I saw these beams, I thought, this is the place.
We loved how they're so old and they're part of the original construction of the building from the 17th century.
And I love this view outside. You can see the astronomical clock right there. That is really an icon of Prague. And you have that literally outside your window.
Yes, right out the window.
Every hour on the hour you hear the trumpeter, do his little spiel.
What a front yard. Old Town Prague is literally out your front doorsteps.
It's so different from what we had in the United States where, we lived in a suburban community. To us, it didn't make sense to come here for 2.5 years and spend it in the same kind of situation. If we're going to do this, we're going to have the full Prague experience.
I love the vibe of the city. I love the noise and the hubbub of the people walking by. Just everyone's happy, having a good time. It just really picks me up every time I walk out the door.
So living here in downtown Prague actually offers you a whole lot of convenience as well.
It does. It's very convenient. I love walking down to the markets to get my produce and my meat.
And does this market literally just pop up every morning?
They set the whole thing up in the morning and they tear it all down and close it up at 6 o'clock at night. Yeah, my favorite place to get produce is down at the very end. They have the best quality and the best prices.
This is great to have all of this available at your doorstep.
I like cooking here. We're gonna get a couple of tomatoes, just 2. That's all we need. Let's get a couple of peppers. You wanna get 4 of those corn cobs for me? This will be great tonight with some fish. I'll have to go to the fish market later. You save a lot of money. This choice has been a great choice for us financially because we don't need cars. We don't have cars here. We walk.
So pretty easy for mom and dad. But when you're young, changing schools and leaving friends is stressful.
They pretty much resisted it until we were here. And then, frankly, for a good while after that was, how soon can we go home?
How long do
And
we
why
have to
did you
be
sign
here?
that contract?
Why? Yeah.
I really didn't want to go. It was because I had such a close group of friends with me, and I'd be leaving pretty much everything and moving here, starting a whole new life in a place I don't know the language, never even heard of the language really.
At first, I was kind of excited. I wanted to do the new experience. But when I finally got here, it was like something just slammed into me. I had no idea what was going on. I was at a new school, new teacher. I went up a grade.
At the international school in Prague, they're seeing the world differently. There are students from over 40 different countries.
It's a big change from going to a huge public middle school to a small private school with so many people from all around the world.
You can't sugarcoat it. It's tough to leave your country and your home and your friends in the neighborhood they were used to running and playing in.
This house has all of these different little nooks and crannies, so even though you don't have that backyard, they still have a lot of space to really play and get creative.
You make do with what you got.
This is awesome.
I know.
People say, are you worried they're gonna fall off? But there's a great little ridge, like a wall, that kind of keeps them. I mean, they'd have to be working hard to fall off the roof.
Nice to see you.
And they have a built-in brass slide. That is the best.
Yeah, with the gable. They just slide right down.
And what the parents like most is seeing their kids adjust to life abroad.
I'm so proud of them because, they adjusted well. It's just amazing how big their world has become from living in a foreign country.
That's a real big positive.
I mean, we're enjoying it, but, we still kind of miss home and all. We miss our friends, but I'm happy to have the experience.
And after the Prague experience, where do the kids want to go next?
I want to go home.
What she said.
Coming up,
I have a lot of American friends in Prague, and so we all come together.
a tradition we Americans do at night, you can only do in the morning in Prague.
That, I have to say, is pretty ingenious.
Prague is a city of tradition. Like the changing of the guard at Prague Castle. And the tradition of beer. The Czechs have been drinking it since the 12th century. And today, they drink 43 gallons a year, per person. Far and away more than anyone else in the world. And almost double what Americans drink.
How do you say cheers?
Na zdraví. Na zdraví.
Na zdraví. Na zdraví.
But Prague's not all about tradition. Since the end of communism in 1989, the people here have no interest in following rules, even when it comes to real estate.
When you come here, you feel the freedom because there are not that strict rules and you can basically do whatever. And you really feel free.
Just 10 minutes from Old Town is a neighborhood that's quite a bit newer while still hanging on to Prague's European appeal. A perfect place to experience a hipper, freer Prague.
We are in Vinohrady. It means vineyards.
So this used to be a wine-producing region as well.
Right. It used to be vineyards for the king. It's a very special park in Prague.
It kind of reminds me of Central Park in New York City. So for all of this history and for a view of the park, how much do homes usually cost here?
I would say 10 to 18 million.
Crowns or dollars? 10 to 18
uh,
million?
Crowns,
Okay.
meaning $1 million.
That's still a good amount of money.
Even with its hefty price tag, car dealer turned investor Mike Zimbrick chose to buy in Vinohrady because he wanted to settle down in style.
Vinohrady is a great place. It's very close to the center of town. There's a lot of restaurants. There's a very vibrant, busy downtown here. And so I really kind of distinguished that I wanted to live in this area. It's really a wonderful place to live. Prague is a very American-friendly place. The second language spoken after Czech is English.
For someone like Mike looking to live the ultimate bachelor lifestyle close to downtown, Vinohrady is perfect.
It's the feeling that there's a lot going on. Always art exhibits, always concerts, always theater, always opera. Prague is on the European tour path of major acts. It's really a great place for entertainment.
And what does $1 million get you in Prague? He's right across from the park in a 2,800 square foot, 3-bedroom, 3-bath apartment.
Look at this place.
That's the zebra. I call him Yurko. I have people that go like this. They go.
Yeah, like you should be. Like, am I gonna ruin the hair and the tail or anything, the mane?
You can walk across it and I'll go like this.
They're like, you weren't supposed to walk on that.
Mike bought the zebra rug to help one of the charities he supports in Africa. This place is like a shrine to his worldly travels. One way Mike makes this Prague apartment his own. But strangely, the most outlandish feature actually came with the place.
What's going on with this?
Well, that's kind of the center focal point of this room. Mr. Wind or Mr. Poseidon or whatever, but it's really quite a statement for this room.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's unique like me.
That it is.
Mike also made a statement with this. It's a guy thing.
And you have a big screen TV, which is very American.
Well, because we can watch Monday Night Football and all the football games here now.
Mike gets satellite TV beamed to his living room for only $40 a month.
But we usually watch it late at night because being 7 hours different, it comes on quite late.
It doesn't get any more American than touchdowns, with a bit of a local twist. Tuesday morning football.
So cram all your friends here, barbecue out there, and you watch football.
It's pretty comfortable here in Prague for American people. Yeah. You got that, right?
Still, in an effort to make Prague fit his lifestyle perfectly, a jet-set bachelor can't live without this.
I travel a lot back and forth between the U.S. and Prague, but there's a special room that I've got here for you. It's called the jet lag room.
What's a jet lag room?
The jet lag room is a room with no windows and no light. So when you shut the door, it is nighttime anytime.
That, I have to say, is pretty ingenious.
Yes. It's a necessity. Dziękuję. Tiki.
Ooh, that looks good. So what is all this?
Czech meats.
I find it so funny that whenever you go to all these different cities, especially in Europe, everyone just gushes about the food and how much they love the food and how fresh the produce. And no one gushes about the food here. So what do you find about the food?
It's a lot of meats. It's duck is like the national meal. What's really crazy is at Christmas, the Christmas dish is carp.
Oh, it's fish.
Carp. Uh-huh. Which is like a fish that you don't eat in the U.S., but.
The food, an acquired taste. Everything else?
This is the life.
LTD. Living the dream.
Next,
This is quite a surprise.
there are homes in Prague you definitely don't want to buy.
You look for a place that's been built before World War II.
We'll tell you why. Prague is truly a city with two personalities, old world charm and a new way of living without rules.
This place is called the Fred and Ginger, also known as the Dancing House.
Local architecture hasn't always been this fun. Prague was under communist rule for 40 years, and apparently, communist is another word for boring.
Well, when you're looking for a home here, you looked for a building that was built prior to World War II, because between that period of World War II and the end of communism, there weren't really a lot of stylish buildings.
Now, some people are taking this idea of no boundaries and applying it to real estate. The owners of this building weren't happy with just one floor, so they blew the roof off, literally.
Originally, it was just one floor, and they have built up to other floors. So the original roof was right there where you see the dark mark on the bricks.
They created 2,800 square feet of gorgeous living space with tons of natural light.
This is so sexy and vibrant and alive and got this energy to it.
Look at the fireplace.
Even the fireplace has just its own personality. Is that Prague Castle right there?
Yes.
But beyond the views, one of its more eccentric features tests the boundaries of bathrooms.
This is quite a surprise. I mean, the first thing that I see when I walk down the stairs is this bathtub. It's right in the middle of a bedroom.
I know, well, you hardly see it in Czech. It's definitely a unique thing.
Now that is a soaking tub.
So how much will this ultimate rock star pad set you back? For $2 million, this could be your home. But whether you're looking for the Prague of the past or the future, it takes more than just an address to fit in. It takes time.
Yes, when it comes to general behavior of Czech people, you may think we are a bit rude, but we are more shy and reserved. But overall, when you get to know the people, they are very friendly.
The attitude of the Czech people is really great. They've been through a lot, and they often have a very black humor on things. And so they don't take things too seriously, and they really enjoy their life.
What you really have to get used to is that it's not America.
Yeah, you have to accept the fact that things are going to be different. You just got to kind of take a chill pill every day and realize that things are different. It's a different culture. It's our job to try to integrate into that and learn to enjoy that.
Na zdraví!